Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of SpaceMonkey Surveys, a series in which I plan to play the games that I was given for an hour or more, and then give a review on the early impressions of the product within a 5 or so minute episode. This episode is on a side-scrolling shmup called Super Hydorah, released on the 20th of September 2017. The story of Super Hydorah is based in the system around the star of Omus. When the forces of the Meropteans, a race of biomechanical beings that are hell-bent on war, invade, you, as the deadliest and most apt pilot, are the only one capable of saving the galaxy from their plight. Strike out on a mission to stop them once and for all. I, myself, am not the best at shmups. But really, Edit Monkey, you're gonna show that screen. Fine, during the 1.5 hours and 2 missions, I learned that I'm pretty damn bad at them, honestly. And, if I could, I would have turned down the difficulty so I could have got further along, but hey, from what I was able to play, I enjoyed it and have only a few minor gripes about it. Inherent with the genre, the gameplay relies on a mix of pattern recognition, reflexes and precision maneuvering from the player, meaning that on the first run it can often be pretty brutal. But when you do learn where enemy placements and environmental dangers are, for subsequent runs they are easier and let you focus on trying to get the high scores, while playing around with the 6 primary, 7 secondary and 5 special weapons. Couple these with local 2-player, a score that wipes itself when you run out of lives, and a scoreboard with some pretty high scores already set on it, and you have yourself quite a volatile cocktail of replayability. My largest issue with the game was the continue screen, as it takes too long to get from the death state to playing the level once again, and there's no way to restart the mission from the pause menu. The ship itself feels sluggish, but I think that's honestly a lack of experience on my part in this genre of games. The hitbox is quite forgiving, however, but a tight hitbox is a staple of these games. The projectiles themselves are relatively easy to spot at most times, but sometimes they do get obfuscated by the explosions etc. of the backgrounds. Like much art that isn't trying to appear as realistic as possible, pixel art is quite hard to comment on whether it is good or bad looking, as it is completely a matter of perspective and lacks something to compare it against. I can, however, comment on if it works thematically or from a gameplay perspective, and, personally, it does. The art is vivid and interesting, with a parallaxing effect adding some depth to the level design while not being too distracting from the actual gameplay. Enemies are distinct enough to be easily identifiable from the background, and as such you can often tell where an attack came from without much difficulty. I could say that the art doesn't contrast the bullets enough from the explosions, but I think I probably just need to learn not to fly through explosions. Something you'd think I'd know by now after playing so many flight sims. The general audio design of the game works quite well. Often it is easy to make sounds of weapon fire, as it is happening constantly, get annoying, but they have avoided this pitfall by having the music be the main focal point of the audio, as well as the sound effects in and of themselves being repeated correctly. On the topic of music, the music was done by Grayzor87 and is mostly upbeat soft rock chiptune, and, through diving through the game files, they are mostly reasonably quick and in the major key, much to the feel of the game's environments. Unfortunately, as I'm not living with any other gamers, I couldn't play the local co-op or robot chicken modes. However, the single player was challenging and fun. I've not really played many games of this vein myself, so let that lend credence when I say I will probably keep playing this game till I complete it at least once. The sound design and art are able to define itself from the crowd. However, if you like the looks of the game or just want to prove that you're much better than I am, it is available on PlayStation 4, Vita and Steam. Also currently it's on a 33% off sale on Steam, which leads it to be £10.37 or $13.39 until the 19th of February 2018 during the celebratory sale of the Year of the Dog.
Game over.